for most structures, including buildings, bridges, earthen dams, as well as concrete dams. It is the earth that provides the ultimate support. The behavior of the supporting ground must, therefore, affect the stability of the structure. The supporting ground is invariably a soil which is weaker than any construction material like wood, concrete, steel, or masonry. Hence, compared to the structural members made out of this material, a large area or mass of soil is necessary involved in carrying the same load. Structural foundation are the substructure elements which transmit the structural load to the earth. It is the connecting link between the structure proper and the ground which support it. The bearing strength characteristic of foundation soil are major design criteria for civil engineering structures. In non-technical engineering, bearing capacity is the capacity of soil to support the loads applied to the ground. The bearing capacity of soil is the maximum average contact pressure between the foundation and the soil which should not produce shear failure in the soil. The load of the superstructure is transmitted to the supporting soil through structural member called footings, which are to be designed properly so as to ensure the shear stress developed on any plane in the loaded soil mass must not be overstressed and does not exceed the shear strength of the soil. In other words, shear failure does not occur. And secondly, the supporting soil does not undergo deformations that would cause excessive settlement, that is, does not exceed the tolerable limit of footing due to the applied load. The bearing capacity of a given footing has to be determined considering both of these factors. If not designed properly, then take a look.
ये इसी तरफ गिरेगी, इसी तरफ गिर रही है, इसी तरफ गिर रही है, ये इसी तरफ गिर रही
है. The most familiar example of differential settlements and their consequences is the Leaning Tower of Pisa, which took 2 centuries to build due to the problem with differential settlements and inclination. Because Pisa is built on wetlands with the geological profile of soil consisting of clay and fine sand and is characterized by a high level of groundwater. Conditions for construction of tall structure have been challenging since the very beginning. Leaving out extreme cases like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the most common sign of differential settlements is the occurrence of cracks on the structure at an angle 45 degree, usually around the openings like doors, windows, etc. Let us now discuss some of the terms related to the bearing capacity of soil. For a footing constructed with its base at a depth df below the ground surface, the total pressure at the base of the footing due to the weight from the superstructure, self weight of the footing and the weight of the earth fill above the base of the footing, if any. Then net loading intensity. Before the construction of a footing, the soil at the foundation level is subjected to an overburden pressure due to the self weight of the soil mass. The net loading intensity is the difference between the gross loading intensity and the overburden pressure. If the footing founded in a soil mass having a unit weight of gamma at a depth df below the ground level, then net loading intensity is equal to gross loading intensity minus overburden pressure. Then comes ultimate bearing capacity. If a load at the base of the footing is gradually increased, a stage will be reached when the load will cause a shear failure in the supporting soil. The maximum gross intensity of loading that the soil can support before it fails in shear is called the ultimate bearing capacity. So, the gross loading intensity must be less than the ultimate bearing capacity. That is, the maximum capacity that the soil can support. If it is equal to, then it is on the verge of failure. Net ultimate bearing capacity is the maximum net intensity excluding the existing overburden pressure of loading at the base of the foundation that the soil can support just before the shear failure. Net ultimate loading intensity is equal to ultimate bearing capacity minus overburden pressure. Factor of safety. In engineering, a factor of safety, also known as safety factor, expresses how much stronger a system is than it needs to be an intended load. The factor of safety for a foundation can be defined as the ratio between the ultimate bearing capacity and the actual load on the foundation soil. Net safe bearing capacity is the maximum net intensity of loading that the soil can safely support without the risk of shear failure. It is obtained by dividing net ultimate bearing capacity by the factor of safety. Gross safe bearing capacity, noted by QS, is the maximum gross loading intensity that the soil can carry safely without the risk of shear failure, irrespective of the magnitude of settlement, obtained by adding the net safe bearing capacity with overburden pressure. Finally, the allowable bearing pressure. It is the net loading intensity in which the foundation will carry without undergoing settlement in excess of permissible value but not exceeding the net safe bearing capacity. This is the net loading intensity at which neither the soil fails in shear nor there is an excessive settlement detrimental to the structure. The allowable bearing pressure thus depend both on the subsoil and the type of building concerned and is generally less than and never exceed the safe bearing capacity. The ultimate bearing capacity of soil is influenced by many factors such as, firstly, soil strength. Bearing capacity of cohesionless soil and mixed soil increases unproportionally with the increase in the effective friction angle. However, bearing capacity of purely cohesive soil such as clay varies linearly with the soil cohesion. Secondly, foundation width. Foundation width affect bearing capacity of cohesionless soil. The bearing capacity of a footing placed at the surface of cohesionless soil where the soil shear strength is considerably dependent on internal friction is proportional to the width of the foundation. Bearing capacity of cohesive soil of constant shear strength and infinite depth is independent of foundation width. Foundation depth. The deeper the foundation, the greater the bearing capacity. Position of the groundwater table has a significant effect on the bearing capacity of soil. Presence of water table at a depth less than the width of the foundation from the foundation bottom would reduces the bearing capacity of the soil. As the water table approaches to the ground level, the percentage of submerged soil as well as the pore water increases, hence the effective pressure and the bearing capacity decreases. But when the groundwater table is at a great depth, then it may not affect the bearing capacity of the soil. Spacing between foundation. It is recommended to consider a minimum spacing between footings, which is 1.5 times the foundation width. It is taken during the foundation design in order to avoid the reduction in the bearing capacity. Repeated movement could increase pore water pressure and consequently the effective pressure in foundation soil. and the bearing capacity is decreased. Source of cyclic movements are earthquakes, vibratory machineries, blasting, pile driving, etc. The foundation soil can liquefy when the pore water pressure equal to or exceed the soil confining stress. Liquefaction reduces the effective stress to zero and cause a gross differential settlement of structures and loss of bearing capacity. Subsurface voids. Bearing capacity of soil decreases due to the subsurface voids which are within a critical depth beneath the foundation. The critical depth is that depth below which the influence of pressure in the soil from the foundation is negligible. Collapsible and expansive soil can have large strength and bearing capacity when they are fairly dry. The volume of the soil changes due to the change in water content. This leads to the total and differential foundation movement, which is very dangerous. Black cotton soil is an example of expansive soil. Erosion of soil around and under foundation and seepage can reduce its bearing capacity and it can cause foundation failure. Low cohesive material such as clay containing a high percentage of silt size particle are mostly susceptible to frost action. Bearing capacity of soft and weak soil can be increased greatly by installing various forms of reinforcement in the soil like metal ties, strips or grids, geotextile fabrics or any granular materials. Now we may conclude our present discussion as ultimate bearing capacity is the theoretical maximum pressure which can be supported without failure. Allowable bearing capacity is the ultimate bearing capacity divided by a factor of safety. Sometimes on soft soil site, large settlements may occur under loaded foundation without actual shear failure occurring. In such cases, the allowable bearing capacity is based on the maximum allowable settlement.